Hi, this is Dr. Graves from the Cal State University Northridge Geography Department and geographyplanet.org. This is a video tutorial for the retail site location or Doughnut lab. The point of this lab is to introduce students to some of the very basic strategies for determining the best site in the San Fernando Valley or anywhere for putting a donut shop or any other kind of retail or service establishment, police station, fire station, elementary school. In this video, you will revisit some of the earlier skills that you have learned, but also you will learn to create something called Thiessen Polygons and joining data from two different layers into a single layer so that you can create trade areas for each of the donut shops. The trade areas could be easily areas of influence or service areas for things like schools and fire departments. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, at this point you should have already read the background with the exercise about the hoteling model and the effect of something called intervening opportunity on the likelihood that customers would visit your business. Essentially, customers are assumed that they will not drive past a competitor of yours to get to you. It's just a matter of good sense that people don't want to travel a long way for the same product, that they could get closer. So what you see here is the map of the San Fernando Valley, and each of the donut looking icons on the map represent a donut shop. There are other layers that are visible, the streets and roads map that you can turn on and off, a zip code layer, and census tracts in the background. Once again, as always, if you find your computer running slowly, it may be the background world street map, and you are welcome to turn that off and turn on only some other background layers for your purposes. As usual, one of the things you ought to do early in the lab is to click on the Project tab and save a copy of this on your desktop or somewhere else you will like. I'm going to call this one Doughnut Steve and press save. Now it is mine, and I am able to modify it more easily now that it's on my drive. So the first thing that you're going to be asked to do is to locate a factory, something that donut shops might use, like a cream filling factory or a sprinkles factory. So we're going to try to find the best location to put a factory that supplies all of the donut shops in the San Fernando Valley. Before you do that, use the Explore tool, this one here, to answer one or more questions about the map, just to make sure that you understand what's going on in the background. So you can pause the video and answer those questions. Next, make sure you read the passage about just-in-time manufacturing and the Weber problem, a major issue in economic geography named after Alfred Weber, and because you need to know about least cost locations before you actually run the calculations for that. In a more advanced course, we would probably use network analysis. So read the passage and answer one or more questions about the information. Okay, so let's get started on our analysis. Click on the Analysis tab above the main toolbar, and on the tool ribbon here, click the Tools button, which causes the geoprocessing window to appear. In the Find Tools window, type Mean Center, and you may have used this tool already. Select Mean Center From the drop-down menu next to Input Feature Class, choose Doughnut Shops. In the Output Feature class, make sure that you're saving to a drive that you have drive access to. And so I'm going to switch over here to Documents, ArcGIS, and put this in my junk default folder. Call this Factory MC for Mean Center. You can call it something else if you want. We're going to leave the weight blank for the moment and the case field and the dimension fields blank. Once you have that filled out, click Run. After a moment or so, you should notice a green dot appearing, and this one appears here in Panorama City, and this is the mean center, the unweighted mean center of all of the Doughnut shops. Pause the video and answer one or more questions about the location you just created on the map. This point assumes that each of the Doughnut shops would get exactly one delivery a day or one delivery a week. But as you know, some of the Doughnut shops probably sell a lot more donuts, and so we would want to weight the location of the delivery to account for Doughnut shops where deliveries may be multiple times a week or multiple times a day because they have a great deal more sales. And so we're going to just change the name here of our output feature class to WMC for weighted mean center, and the weight field that we're going to use is sales. And so we're going to make a lot more deliveries of sprinkles or cream filling to those donut shops that have enormous number of sales of donuts. We can leave the case field and the dimensions field blank, and once again click Run. Give it a moment. Once again, we find that there is, once we zoom out a little bit, a second point on the map. In the table of contents, you may want to double click or click once on this point for weighted mean center and just change the symbol to maybe a red square or something like that to indicate that this is not the same as the first one. Zoom in on the factory you just created in the new, and then turn on the zip code layer and the street layer to make sure the donut shop layer is on. So we want to turn on the street layer, we want to turn on the zip code layer, and let's zoom in on our new point. An optional step you can take is to click back on the Map tab and use the Measure tool to click along the streets. I'm clicking multiple times until you get to the nearest donut shop, and then you can measure the distance between this proposed location for a donut factory or sprinkles factory and the nearest location. That would be the street distance. You can, if you were using a drone, fly between this location and the nearest donut shop. So pause the video and answer one or more questions about what you have just created. Okay, we'll end this part 1 video here and resume part 2 in a